Hi, 8th graders. It's been a while since I actually made a video, so a couple of weeks either way. So today we are going to get into Module 7. Module 7 is all about exponents. And when I say it's all about exponents, I really mean it. We are going to be doing 6 full lessons or 5 full lessons with a review and a test just on exponent properties. We're going to start super duper basic with today's lesson. And after that, we are upping the ante really fast. So I hope you can get ready. Exponents are going to be very much a part of our life for the next 4 or more modules. We're going to be working with exponents in Module 7 all the way through Module 11 when we are working with quadratics and things like that. So getting our exponents down and understanding how to deal with them is going to be essential to your life. And I'm not going to joke about that. Like, it's going to be super essential. To start off, again, we're going to start off really basic. We're going to talk about just about different formats for exponents in this particular video. There's going to be 2 more videos that are going to build on that concept or on these concepts and build on general like exponent properties and sort of how exponents work in the next 2 modules or in the next 2 videos. So we're going to start with this 5 to the 3rd. This is what's called exponent form. So just this format here, it has its own name. This is called exponent form. It's called exponent form because it's quite literally a number with an exponent. Super difficult. Okay, so this is a number with an exponent. We have a base number, which is this big one. This is our base. And this 3 here is our exponent. This 3 tells us how many times we're going to multiply the base number by itself. Okay, so we're going to multiply this base number 3 times over and over and over. So we're not saying 5 times 3, we're saying 5 times 5 times 5. And that gets us to our next form. Our next form is what's called expanded form. And that's quite literally where we ask ourselves, how many times am I multiplying this 5 by itself? We're multiplying it 3 times based on the exponent. So we'll say 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, over and over and over again. I do not like that this 5 is so massive. Sorry, I'm going to change that. It's bugging me. So 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 times 5. This is our next form. Like I said, this is expanded form. You are going to get used to expanded form. I'm going to encourage you on a very regular basis, if you continue to make certain mistakes over and over and over, to write out every single term that you have, and every single, not even term, every single base with an exponent out with it in expanded form. I'm going to encourage it all the time because it's the best way for us to not make errors. So 5 to the 3rd power, we can rewrite it as 5 times 5 times 5. So it's 5 multiplied by itself 3 times. So that's expanded form. Our last form of exponents is actually not going to look like an exponent because it's considered standard form. It's essentially us doing the math that's here. So 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. So if we are able to do any of the math, so like if this is an actual number and it's not just a variable, I encourage you to actually do the math if you can. Now, sometimes these numbers are going to get really huge. And in that case, I'd rather see just you working with the exponents really fluently than you actually figuring out the final answer or the standard form of that particular exponent. And I'll help you sort of find that nuance, like when do you need to actually find the answer versus not. Usually the numbers, usually with the problems that we're working with, if we have something raised to the 3rd power, I want to encourage you to do that. But if it gets even more into the 4th or 5th powers or even above that, I say stick a pin in it. Just show me that you can be fluent with your work in terms of exponents, and I'll be good. So in other words, can you simplify this sort of thing with other exponents that potentially are happening in the problem? And then we are all set. That being said, we can now see we have exponent form, expanded form, and standard form. And this is a prime example of a number that I would want to see you right into standard form. I'll explain that sort of when to not and that sort of thing. Actually do the math in future videos. All right, so another big thing that we need to take away when it comes to exponent form and standard form and expanded form is this concept of what do exponents actually mean? I want us to take a little bit of that away from this video. So for example, I'm going to create this table here. I'm going to start with 3 squared. We know 3 squared is 3 times 3, so 3 squared is 9. If I were to increase this power, so the exponent or the power by 1, if I increase the power by 1, I now have 3 to the 3rd, which in turn tells me that I'm going to multiply this 9 by 3. So essentially, 3 times 3 times 3, or 27. And I'll get that number out of that. If I were, and I'll write this one down, 3 times 3 here. If I, again, increase my power by adding 1 to it, I'm essentially multiplying again by 3 again. So I have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, or 81. So it's important that we know that when we are dealing with exponents, we're not just simply adding an exponent. Adding an exponent truly means that we are multiplying by our base yet again. Every single time we increase by 1 in our exponent, we are multiplying by 3 in all reality to our standard form. So do it one more time to really drive home this point. Add 1 to my exponent, 3 to the 5th power. So I get 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, or what is that? 243 for my exponent, or for my standard form. So driving home this point, exponent form, expanded form, standard form. We can see that again here. And when we add an exponent, every time we add an exponent or increase our exponent by 1, we're truly multiplying by 3. We're going to get more into this concept in our next video. And yeah, 2 more videos left, and I will talk to you later. Bye.